It is some of the most spectacular scenery in the United States and includes the headwaters to several of the West's major watersheds. It is known as the Alpine Triangle, 186,000 acres of high-altitude, resource-rich public land in the San Juan Mountains of southwest Colorado. Citizen groups there are proposing this as an addition to America's national conservation lands.
It's a stunning mountainscape with some of everything, so it starts, most of it's really above tree line, lots of ridge lines and peaks that you can easily get on top of and have views across all of western Colorado.
The Alpine Triangle spans 3 counties and the Continental Divide. 2 wilderness study areas, including 2 14,000-foot peaks and numerous 13,000-foot peaks, also fall within the proposed boundaries. The area is home to critical native species, such as the Rocky Mountain elk, recently reintroduced Canadian lynx, and Colorado cutthroat trout.
That's a male, that bright orange.
Ty Churchwell represents Trout Unlimited, the organization spearheading a grassroots proposal to designate this public land as a national conservation area.
Without question, this is one of the most important multi-use recreational resources in the West. From a recreational standpoint, this place is an absolute treasure.
One of the biggest draws is touring cultural sites left over from the days of hard rock mining. Ghost towns and mine structures date back over 100 years, the majority of which are easily accessible by four-wheel drive and other off-road vehicles.
There's a network of roads up here, including the Alpine Loop Backcountry Byway, which just gives you unparalleled access to these types of high elevation areas, and it really doesn't exist anywhere else in the United States.
But this fragile, high-altitude environment is threatened. Prospecting for the silver and gold that once made these communities boom towns continues, but with little success. Many abandoned mills still pollute local waterways, scarring the landscape even decades later. Increased visitation to these mountains impacts alpine tundra, rivers, and native species habitat. Official designation as conservation land would likely put a moratorium on future mineral extraction and would result in the allocation of additional resources to better manage increased visitation. Advocates for conservation status prefer to keep the Alpine Triangle as it is.
What we're pushing for and suggesting is kind of a leave it as it is policy. We don't want to change a lot about the Alpine Triangle. We just don't want a lot to change about it in the future.
Some local residents are apprehensive about closing public land to future mining, while others worry that a conservation land designation might negatively impact tourism, the region's main source of income. But many believe preserving the land for future generations is a good idea.
I've thought about it back and forth, and I don't see any downsides. What I see is a lot of upside in terms of protecting a great area, but also giving the town something good, a way to draw more people to Silverton.
For now, advocates for conservation designation of the Alpine Triangle continue to garner local support, hoping that Congress will eventually give its okay. For Assignment Earth, I'm Bruce Burkhart.